Have add on to the thing already, so that should be fine. So okay, I think we can just go ahead and start because 11 people, 12 people actually on the call. So yeah. So welcome everyone to Behind the Design. Right. So Behind the Design is a series that I started with Regan Marfo, and the idea of this series is to actually bring on product designers, right? So they can just walk us through their workflow, their process, how they work, any tools that they use in their work, plugins, like basically just show us their Figma files and how they go about from an idea all the way to um I don't want to say a finished work, but something like that, something that they are willing to share for feedback and or share with designers as well. So for today we have Derrick, and Derrick will be showing us his Figma file, taking us behind the scenes of how he works and everything he does in Figma. So I'd like to hand over to Derrick. I'm pretty sure Derrick will do like a slight introduction, tell us about what he's doing today on his portfolio with the new leaderboard and everything. So I'll hand over to Derrick so he talks to us about that, and then he shows us his Figma. Okay, so
Okay.
let me.
Hi. So yeah, my portfolio is it. I had nothing new on that side. I mean, I hardly design for that one, so
Mm.
it's So you'll be seeing it in my portfolio, but I
Okay.
might show you instead of picture.
Mm.
Okay, let me share my take my interface.
Right.
So I'm on the app.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So my name is Derrick. I'm a product designer in the world. Um, I do a bunch of other things too when I have the time and when I'm free, which is never. But yeah, so I'm going to take you through a couple of stuff about. I have some notes here about my file structure, plugins, a lot of other stuff. So in the process, if you have while I'm speaking, if you have any questions, feel free to. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Right, just raise your hand and ask any questions. Right, if I say something you don't agree with, just raise your hand and insult me. Like if you have any, just feel free to butt in and let me know what you think. Right, I don't want it to be a one person, or I don't want to be a monologue. Right. Okay. Cool. So I don't even know where to start. So this is my Figma file, right? This is, I think this would be, there are very few people have seen this because, I have a lot of my files there. So I'll take you through how it got so much from the beginning to now, right? From the beginning to now. So, um, cool. Let's go to learning file. Learning file was the first Figma team I created, a Figma project I created, right? I basically used to, so when I moved into Figma first, I was using XD, right, like Michael. So you can see the oldest file here is 3 years. So it's 3 years, it's 3 years and some change, right? So a couple of months on top of that. So you'd see pillar icon. This was the first icon pack I downloaded from the Figma community, right? Then Fidelity Bank redesign. This was a redesign I did when I was trying to get familiar with Figma, right? Whenever I open it, it feels some way. So yeah, it will stay closed. Then
Please open it. Open it. We want to see because it'll be nice to see from the very first one all the way to now.
no. Okay, I'll take you through some of the old files, right? Let's do quickly. One more. This was my Haptel. When I joined Haptel, this was my assessment, the technical assessment. Okay, let me show you this too. They have that. Okay, so these were some of the old files, right? Then I had you'd see 3% better here. This one is 3% better. Can you see, is the font too small?
No, we can see.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
cool. So this 3% better, this 2% better. I have 1% better. Where's 1% better? Where's 1% better? Hey, is it lost? Okay, let me open this 3% better, 2% better. I have 4%. This 4%. So I'll take you through why or how those came into. Where's 1%? Okay, this 1%. All right. Let me arrange them. So 1%, 3, 4, and then 2. Okay. So what? Yeah, the reason for these percentages, these are like 4 different stages of my career, right? So when I got into Figma first, and I started like learning, upskilling on stuff. I created a 1% better. This from the phrase or from the sentence, 1% better every day, right? So when I started, it was 1% better, and this was where I was doing all my learning. So you'd see Twitter. I did some designs on the Twitter interface, right? This one guidelines. Nowadays, I hate using guidelines, but at first I was using guidelines a lot. This was a wireframe, um, then wireframe. Okay, this is a screenshot. Then I was doing some like iterations on the Figma on the Twitter interface. Just so I just redesigned what we have, and then I started doing some tweaks. Right. So this is all in the 1% better period. Right. I can't really mention. I can't really put a time on that 1% duration or that 1% period because I don't remember myself. So this one was like connecting your NFT. During that time, NFTs were very big. So this was about connecting your NFT to your Twitter account and validating whatever NFT you could. So this was a flow I was developing based on that. So this is like your marketplace, select the marketplace. Um, then you have your modals for authentication and all that, right? At this point, currently I'm in crypto. At this point, I was not in crypto. So a lot of the things I was doing were just like my understanding of the crypto market, and a lot of it might not work today based on the understanding that I have right now, right? So with this one, you could add your create your NFT, add it, authenticate it, do. So this was the first part of my 1%. Was it the first? No, this is the last part of my 1%. Then we have this. This was a prototype. Let's see if this still works. This one was my prototyping era. Like I could prototype everything. But wait, nah, I don't think this works. Oh shit. Oh, it's that from here. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. So yeah. So as you type, this was. Can you see the prototype?
Yeah.
All right, cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
So what I was doing here fits with. Okay, so what's the idea is as you are typing your password, then the fox is looking at the text, right? Where you are done, you click continue. So this was an idea I had for the MetaMask um, login. They've implemented something similar right now, but I don't know if it's my idea that they took. I don't know, so I'm not going to claim it. But yeah, they implemented something similar for their login for the authentication, and I don't know, but I'm just saying if you see it, I did it first, but I don't know if they saw it. So yeah, then then so this was all learning, right? This was all learning. I do a lot of personal learning. If you follow me like on Twitter or wherever, you see a lot of the things I learn. Sometimes I learn things that don't concern me. But then, what's this? Doesn't work. Oh yeah, I was trying to prototype a human being walking. So this was my like thinking. This was my storyboard, if that's the right terminology to use. So just to see if I can prototype the legs to see how when you're walking, your legs are not straight. Your legs bend a bit when you're walking. So um, I wanted to mimic that interaction. So I was doing this to get like that feeling. I ended up doing it, but I don't remember where exactly I did that prototype. Um, okay, no one working. Download page. This is another prototype I was doing. Right, like I mentioned, I was in my prototyping like era that year or so. So this is a very terrible prototype, by the way. Sorry for putting you through this. Yeah, this was very terrible. Yeah, cool. So personal learning, button animation. I'll just show you this last one then. No, not this. Was this even proper? No, this is terrible. This is terrible. Sorry. So yeah, so you can see 1% better. Yeah, I was so proud of this. I still am proud of it. It's really, it was a game I did. What year was this? Let's go to version history. Version history. Bro, 2022. Ah, that was 2 years ago. Okay, so the idea is
Yeah.
the, the idea is you get this man here to go home, right? To go here. And once you hit the traffic light, you die. Right. So this was the you see, this was the idea. So restart. When I go down, I come shit, like it's dead. So down, 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 dead. So nah. I forgot how to play my own game that I've done. Shit. Yeah, so the idea, okay, it's a drag interaction. Okay, cool. So once you click it, you see, you wait for then you drag. Then once you drag down, then you win. Bro, I've done this. Wow, Charlie. Actually. Yeah, you get the idea. I wanted to win once before I finish. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice.
Yay.
That was cool.
You finally won.
Yeah, I finally won. So this was a game I prototype. These are the screens, right? It was really cool to do, right? And this is all still in the 1% era. So I have a bunch of things, right? Stress design. Stress design was one day I was feeling burnt out. Then my way of coping with the burnout is to design,
Hey, good.
which was weird to do.
God, oh God.
So
You're tired. You're burnt out, and your solution
so
is to design.
so then you see the file name. The file name is called stress design. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called stress design because I was stressed. So what happened was I designed a Tinder for the Apple Watch, so you can swipe, and once you click sign in, it's then it logs you. So now you click find matches, and then it shows you 3 women, so you can swipe, right? Alice 385 swipe, Jess 385 swipe, and then it tells you then go home. Then it brings you here. Then no. Let's go back. And then um, sign in. Um, okay, messages. You can open messages, and then you can see all the messages. Anita said, "Hey, boo," right? Then you can reply and all that. So this was the design I did when I was burnt out. I wrote a case study for it, but I took it out because yeah, it was a very amateur case study, right? Let me show you one more, then we go to 2%. So this was a swipe feature I put on the Figma community. If you're interested, I could share it with you after this call. So you can swipe, right? Just like the one I showed earlier. So you can drag and swipe, drag, swipe, swipe, right? So that's the whole interaction. Uh, yeah, and this was the idea of it. So I can, yeah, if you want, I could share this one too. What else? Yeah, all these were like learning stuff in the 1%, right? All these were learning stuff in the 1%. Let me show you one last one. So this one was to track your mouse, right? So if I move my mouse to the purple, it the eyes, look at the eyes will move to purple. If I come to red, it changes. You see, it tracks. So this was another. So 1% was my like very, very early design stage era. So now 2% was when I realized that I needed to learn more things that I was not learning before. So I had to move to the 2%. So now I have 2% era. Right. When did I create this? Show version history. Um, this is old. Oh, okay. That entered last year. Yes, it has ended last year. Somewhere 2023. Yeah, somewhere in 2022. Right. So during that time, I was like, okay, I need to learn some new stuff, and I entered another era of my career. Right. So I started. No, this is very recent. Let's go to the first one. This was a little landing page for Bethel. This was one of the first Galamsey that I had. There's a lot of things I'll change in this design right now, like a lot. Apologies to the people I did it for. Okay, then I did.
Why do you call it Galamsey?
Come again.
Why do you call it Galamsey?
Because you go underground to do it so that the people on top will see. Yeah, so yeah, there's a free tip. If you are joining a company and they give you a contract, read the contract to make sure that there's nothing in it that talks about Galamsey. If they talks about Galamsey, make sure you clarify it before you sign the contract. Because there are some that as soon as they find out you do Galamsey, they'll sack you. So these are free tip, especially those who like working, those who want to work remote. Read your contract well. Right. For my contract, I read it and then I asked my boss, and my boss clarified it. And I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, make sure you read your contract. So this is a media player. This is also in the 2%. This is a media player. Then fast. Yellow card. This was my yellow card assessment. This was the work I did to get me into yellow card. So this was the prompt. The year is 2050, what, and you should create an app that allows customers to find and book flights to other planets. Right? You need to design the whole app, just relevant screens. Yeah, so this was my yellow card task that, okay, we should design an app for interplanetary travel. So this is the baller that I did. Okay, so the name of the app was Jump. Jump means like if you are in space, using space to jump, you can't walk out. Right. So that was a subtle punchline that was there. So once you swipe to open, and then you can select the planet you want to go to. So let's say I want to go to Jupiter, click. Okay, let's go here. Click, and then you select whether VVIP or regular. So if you select VVIP, you select the seats because you can only take 9 people. Once you select the seats, then you can scan microchip. Once it scans your hand, then yeah, once you finish scanning, then it verifies your payment. Right. So yeah, this was my assessment test. Right now, a lot of designers don't like doing assessment test. More church level. You more church level, people writing
No, for
long
pay. They have to
takes.
pay.
If you writing long takes on Twitter assessment, here and there. You know?
We beg, boss.
Oh no. A boy, you better the kind. If it's
But
born, yeah, it's kind.
you see, with what you were just talking about, when it comes to assessment, Right. A lot of
Yeah.
people say if they're not paying you, you shouldn't do it. Blah blah
I
blah blah blah.
disagree. I disagree. At the end of the day, you need them more than they need you, right? Even though you can flex and all that, it's an interview is also you interviewing them and all. You also need them to advance your career, right? So there are sometimes you need to bend your back a little bit for them. If you feel it is too much, you have every right to call them out and not do it. But if it's something that will take one day of your, well, that one day, if you're not doing that assessment, what will you do? You just scroll it Twitter or sorry, yeah, right.
Yeah,
So
that's
so you
true.
need to assess it. There was one I was interviewing for a couple of years ago, and the guy basically wanted me to design their entire product, and I refused. I blocked him. Right. Such cases, if you realize okay, it's too much, you have every right. But if it's something that you could do a couple of hours, Charlie, you want to be whole. So sometimes you have to stretch small. Michael, you're trying to say something.
Oh no, just yeah, I was just
Yeah.
listening. I think it was a mistake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This was a design I did when the notch came out, and this design hit. This was my first hit on the Figma community. I like almost 3,000 people download it on the first day. I was like, hey. So it
I
was a
remember this
prototype of
one.
the Apple Notch.
Celeb boy, celeb.
Bro, I've also had a claim royalty. So,
They
so this is a
can
prototype of the notch and how we can use the notch.
Right.
I mean, there are some things I will change here. But yeah, so like media player, we can use a media player for the notch. Then what else? Yeah, this was really cool. I was really proud of myself. I did this overnight because I was like, after the first to put things out. Like, yeah, that was the first. Okay, let's go to third, 3%. I did some. Okay, this was one that it's caused some people to talk plenty on Twitter. So I designed this scene scanner, and some people were saying that, oh, this is how the Tower of Babel thing started. Bro, I was like, oh, why? This is it's just design. So I designed this scene scanner where anytime you open your Bible app, it scans your face and tells you the amount of sins that you've committed. So now after it scans your face, it tells you that oh you have 32 sins, and then you see the sins here, and then you can click to see video evidence, and you can resolve the sins. So yeah, so this caused like people to talk plenty, but yeah, Reagan,
How do we get our sins forgiven?
how do you do it?
Get our sins to be forgiven.
You just click resolve sin, and then you take you through the process to resolve it. So
Yeah, but I think people take answer serious.
yeah, people were teasing. Somebody had thought it was an actual app, and somebody was asking me how we were going to, what API we were going to use to do that. I was like, bro, API for spiritual things. Okay, yeah. So what else? 2%. Let me show you the last one about me builder. This was another 2% project. All of a sudden, Figma has decided to lag. Okay, so this was a 2% project, like a drag and drop profile builder where you can just drag the items and stuff. I'm planning to build this sometime in the future, but not me. Not me. I'll collaborate with the dev because yeah, some of the things that I have in mind they are beyond my engineering capacity. So yeah, it is. So I realized some of the things are better left to the actual devs. So something like this, so that you just drag and drop, and then you can create a CV with something like this, or you can create a profile or like a static web page, something like this. Yeah. What's this from? Okay, this was me practicing. I got this from Lea. No, not Lea. Shei. Shei is a Nigerian product designer. I got this from Shei. So I was trying to replicate this. That's why I learned how to use the gradients to make your stuff almost look like 3D, but then it's still flat. That was why I learned that, and it was really good. Okay, let's go to 3%. So 3% is very recent, right? So you realize the quality in design is better than what we see in 1% is like the worst quality of design, right? Stuff like this, right? This is old Derrick design, right? So hierarchy is all off, like things here, contrast is off. I would never, if you know the way I design, I would never do a button that is shorter than the width of the, yeah, all this is first. So now 3%, 3% has stuff like meal planner. So yeah, 3% is very recent. So meal planner, stuff like this, just like testing interactions and all. Then this one, okay, this one I was planning user research to someone. I don't remember who. Yeah, okay, yes, yeah. Then Gumroad, I was doing Shusheni. Is it Shusheni or yeah, or Ahusheshe, one of them. I was doing one of their Shushe with one of the companies. Let's see how it goes. I was pitching a feature to them. Yeah, okay, I was in dev mode. Okay, yeah, I was pitching a feature to them, the tipping feature. Yeah. Then, well, fintech experiment. This was an experiment I was doing. How we could redesign the fintech screen. A lot of the fintech screens in Africa are similar, or even in the world are similar. We have the title, recent transactions, and the rest. So I wanted to see if I could do something different. Gradient, coffee settings. This was an assignment I was doing for a course. Then 4% design. Cool. I'll share this in the next. This one is in the 4%. Then scanning station. I was doing. No, I'm not done with this. This is still in wireframe stage. Yeah, this is in wireframe stage. Then illustration. I've started learning illustrations, so I've started doing some things like this. So yeah, Reagan, I've started.
Yeah, no, see, I didn't have the words for you. I'm actually.
So I put out a tweet, I think earlier, either earlier this week or last week, that I've started learning. So this hamburger, hopefully to improve by.
So I don't do all the illustrations in Figma. You transition to illustration.
No, I'll do Figma. I want to try and use Figma. Yeah. Then Canvas. What's Canvas? This is an idea I had one night. I've not done anything on it. I just have the blank canvas. Yeah. So Canvas is like that. What I want to do is to create a page where you can go and doodle, right? So it's just have a blank canvas, just like Figma has the infinity canvas. They can just doodle something like FigJam, but then I want to add some personal touches. Yeah, that is Canvas. So if you see me having canvas.uxderrick.com, you know canvas.uxderrick.
No, I think they need to put a limit on the number of subdomains you can have.
No, please. No, please. I beg you. So canvas.uxderrick.com. It's not live yet. Like, there's nothing done yet. This is basically what I have for this project. And okay, the last one, 4%. So 4% is me entering my senior designer realm, right? Where it's not just about the way things look, it's about how you can build structures for your design practice, how you can build, how you can level up other designer skills, how you can level up your own skills, how you can design ops, how you can, things beyond just the interface. So the first thing I want to start with is the design system. So this is a 4% design system. If you're here from the beginning, you know how we got to 4%. We started from 1%, 2%, 3%, now we're on 4%. When was this one started? Version history. Figma needs to have a shortcut for version history. This started a month ago. This basically started a month ago. right? So with this, we have the vision of the design system, the principles, keep it simple, what. Then tone of voice. Then we have color. This was handmade from Judge Jehovah. So so this is the color system. I wanted to do as many as possible so that I can use the design system for whatever.
Oh my ass.
Come again? Hey, Mike, be like we getting through that.
Yeah, I need to find out who it was.
It was Edgar, something Edgar.
Okay, okay. He's on mute now, so I don't know if it was a mistake or something.
Maybe it was a mistake.
Yeah, let's give him
Okay.
one more chance.
One more chance. Okay. We'll give you a second chance. Be like some. Okay. All right, cool. So this is my type system. And the way I've done the type system, I'm so proud of myself. Let me show you. Right. This is what I have, right? So
Hi, my name is Lana Del Rey.
Charlie, you know. Udin the Edgar.
Yeah,
Udin
no long things, boss. He's gone.
Udin Fefe na Shiadia Oye. So let me show you what this does, right? What I have right now, my typeface, my typography is default to Inter, right? And this is what I have for, let's say, title. Let me show you the variables. I have the variables for this, right? I have my font size variables, I have my font weight variables, I have my font family, right? I have 3 font families. I have JetBrains, Inter, and SF Pro. So the thing that I've done that I'm so happy about is with this, I can break this variable, right? And instead of using a different, I can use any of the fonts families. So if I can change to JetBrains, it just changes to JetBrains. And everything I do remains right. I'm so happy with it because it means I can just create a new fonts family and then change this to SF Pro and it goes to SF Pro. And it has all the properties of my typeface. So I can still use SF Pro this and yeah, I'm so happy. Cool. Enough of the sidetrack. So this is my type this is my type system. Right. I use this since I created it, I use this for all the designs. So anything you see me put out, this is the typeface I use. I have this for the code snippet is what I use the JetBrains for. Paragraph this. This is inspired heavily by James Badwell. I had a chat with him a while ago and we spoke about typography and stuff. So yes. Now I have some this thing here. Okay, cool. So I've gone through file structure, what. Cool. Let's go to how I work.
Yeah,
So,
Derrick, please.
Michael.
Yeah, before you continue, we have a question in the chat on
Could you touch a bit
the type. Yeah.
The type thing. Oh, it's very simple. When you create your variables, just add multiple font families, right? And then once you add the font families, let me see where that. Oh no, it doesn't explain. Once you create the font families, make sure that you bind the font families you bind your variables to your styles. Let me explain how that is. So let's say you have Derrick. Let's change this name to title / Derrick. Who's presenting?
Hey, bro, these people, what are those their problem?
Henry Piaz.
Yeah, I think when I tweeted the thing, I tweeted the link and now.
When they come to the name, fine.
Yeah.
Then Jimmy and Kwan, they're from Henry Diaz. Now, my tree cries. They shouldn't let me walk. Okay, cool. Okay, so how to do this first? So the idea is you move from the name to styles, and the style to variable. This was like the plan. I stole this from a YouTube channel. I don't remember her name, but God bless her wherever she is. So name style variable. What do I mean? So we take Derrick here. We change the name of Derrick to whatever I want to put in the styles. So right now we have title / Derrick. Right. A shortcut to change the name of anything is Command R. Right. So once I hit Command R, you see that this place is now highlighted, and you now change the name. Right. So Command R, and then you change title to Derrick, and then you use the plugin called Styler. Styler. Once you say styler, then you just do what? Generate styles. Once you generate a style, you come here. Where is Derrick? You must select one. What? I have this. Generate styles. Okay, yeah, created. So now we have title. You see here, now we have title Derrick. Can you see the screen or it's too small?
We can see now. We can see. But I
You
think
can
this is
see.
but this is better.
This is better. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Yeah, let's stay here. Okay, so now we have a style called Derrick, right? So now from here, you can just come and use this plugin, text styles to variable, right? So what text styles to variable does is it just takes all your styles and then converts it to variables for you. Okay, let's use styles to variables. So now it selects. Hey, where is this thing on to? Text style dot variable. Generate variables from text style. Hey, no. Let me go to a new file. Otherwise, to override all my old variables. Okay, so let's come here. Let's. And I've cried this evening. Okay, let's go here. Let's do styler. Let's do styler again, and then generate styles. Okay, cool. So now we have style here called Derrick, title / Derrick. So now, Michael.
Yeah. So let's say if you did it in the other file, right, it's the 4% one, and your current stuff where like it changed your current variables, right? Doing what's it called? Using the version history to restore would have been easier.
Yes,
Or
yes.
okay.
But I don't. I'm using this design system for my whole 4% team, so I don't want to have any library wahala.
Okay.
Yes, but technically, yes, version history should work,
Okay.
but I don't want to risk it. So now we have text styles to variables. Once you select it, variables bound are created. Okay, variable are created successfully. So now I come to my variable text style, and then you see my JetBrains mono, and then you see here we have Derrick 238, right? So you see 238 here also. Can you see?
Yeah.
We have 238 here. We have Derrick 238 as a text style. We have 238 here. You see, then the font weight is medium. Medium is 500. So medium is also here. Then the font family, JetBrains mono. So if I come here and I want to say, okay, let's create a new font family. Oh shit, what do I do? No. Okay, cool. Let's create a new font family. Create variable string. So let's say font family. So font family, then we change here to say enter. Enter. Then we hit enter. Oh, enter. Okay, enter. All right, cool. So now I can come here and let's say I break this. I can select this, and then you see the enter here. Have you seen?
Yeah.
So now I can just change it, and then it has the same font size, it has the same weight, and every property that you do it to. So like this is the same thing I've done like for the 4% design system, but this one is at scale. Hey, where's my typography? Cool. Yeah, so the two plugins are Styler. Let me put it here. Styler, and then text styles to variables. Right. And if you want to do for colors too, you have styles to variables for colors. Right. Okay. So let's go to how I work. Like I've stopped playing. So how I work. This is one project that I'm really happy about that I did. It was a personal project. So you see how the Figma file is? You see how the Figma file is? It's like a bit basa, right? And then I have and this is the presentation for the case study. Let me see. No. Yeah, this is a presentation for the case study. The case study is on my portfolio if you want to read it. It's a very good read. Like I'm happy with the writing in that Shakespeare level, right? Okay. Okay, so this project was one that I did from like scratch. The farthest to the left is like my beginning screens. So this was where I was trying to ideate the problem. Right, I do a lot of writing in my notebook, so you won't see a lot of the writings or the ideations here. A lot of it happened in my notebook. But then when I decided to start design, this was where I started from. Right, I was thinking of how I can lay out the bodies. Right, so design body is just a bunch of chatbots that help you translate stuff and learn languages. Right, so the idea. So now in the beginning, I was thinking about layout. So that's normally how when I'm designing large projects, I start thinking about layout first. So how can I lay this information out? Because I need some information. I need to chat with the body, like I've written here, right? I need to chat with the body. I need to either translate or do other stuff. So I was thinking of layout. Then I was thinking of some more layouts using wireframes, right? So I was thinking of the chat. If I enter, can I see my progress? This is how I want the chart to look. Then, this is a model with the name of the body. So this was me just throwing a lot of ideas at the wall and then hoping they stick, right? Because in the beginning, I don't have a clear picture of where I want to go. So I just need to draw whatever picture comes to mind. Otherwise, if I've seen a lot of designers want to have a perfect picture in their mind before they get into the design, so that if anybody comes to stand behind them and sees their design, the person will be like, hey, oh yeah, correct designer. But sometimes a lot of your initial designs are going to be ugly, right? You need to accept that, right? You need to accept that a lot of designs are going to be ugly. There was this analogy I heard, I don't remember where, but they're like, design is like a cup with mud in it, right? The more you pour clean water in it, the more it overflows and the mud comes out. By the time you realize the water in it is no longer dirty, it is clean, right? So you need to do bad design in order for the good design. That's a bar. All of you should clap. Yeah, so you need to do the case study. Yes, the case study has been updated. Yes. Hey, you're asking where? Then you are not the way I've done my portfolio, you're asking where. Okay, I'll put it here. Yeah, so you need to do the bad design a lot of times. No, there's no flex. This is years of zero sleep. Yeah, so you need to do a lot of the bad design a lot of times in order for the good design to come out, right? So this was my first iteration for the app, right? This what I was doing was I used material design components because I didn't want to think too much about the design itself. I just want to build on the layout. So remember I talked about layout here, right? So here I was using material design so that I can get the layout quickly, so that I don't think about the look of it, right? I can just think about how the information is presented. So that's where I would suggest if you have access to the free version of Untitled UI, let me put it here. Or let me just Google it. You can use Untitled UI to Untitled Christ, what is it? Untitled UI. Bro. Okay. Yeah, cool. So if you can use Untitled UI to do some ideation, because that one is a very unopinionated like design system. You can use it. You can use material design. Material design is very good for that case because material design it's very like unopinionated. It doesn't force its system on you. You can use it however you want, right? Like once you are not designing for Microsoft and stuff. So yeah, this was what I did to think to get my layout. Once I got the structure, what I wanted to do, we have this. Then I started ideating different like things that come to mind. So I realized that my iterations are not so far from the previous. So this iteration not so far from this one. This is a newer one. It's not so far from this. This is newer than this. It's not so far from this. It has just this different, right? So that's how you ideate. But don't wish that your iteration should be like 200% better than the previous one. No, you can just change your full stop in your second iteration, and it is a new iteration over the first one because something has changed, right? So I was thinking of different ways. So you see here, I have this. Then in this one, I added a flag, right? So you see in this one, I added a flag just to make it different from this, right? Then with this, I added this section here for the inbox, right? Then with this, what I improve. So you need to like ideate as many times as possible until you are satisfied, right? And satisfaction is not necessarily perfection. Satisfaction is when you see that all the needs of that screen are met. Once you realize all the needs are met, then now you can limit yourself to the amount of touches that you do. So you need to have an idea of, okay, what does the user want to do on this screen? Or what do I want the user to do on this screen? And now when all those things are met, you can say that, okay, cool, I can stop here and then come back another time to maybe iterate or tie it together with other screens. Right. So this is how I started. And then I started ideating the chat. I didn't go with this version because it looked a little bit clunky, right? So I changed this. I was ideating all over the place, right? And like in the disclaimer I put out yesterday, I know the arrangement in my head. If you ask me where something is, I can show you where exactly it is, right? Do you ever use AI to aid? Yes, I do. A lot of times. A lot. Because right now I'm becoming an old man. I cannot be doing a lot of the things I was doing when I was young. So I can use AI to create flows. I can use AI to think of dummy data. So I no longer use lorem ipsum. I can just tell Claude AI or ChatGPT to generate some copy for me based on something I want to do. If I have a hypothesis, I can ask ChatGPT to write the hypothesis for me better, right, in a way that people understand it. Because sometimes I have the thing in my mind and I don't know how to explain it properly. I can ask AI to help me explain the hypothesis. At work, we did something once. We did an experiment once where we did user research and we allowed AI analyze the data for us, and we had some very good results. So we did the user research. We got our data. We gave the data to the model, and then it analyzed it properly for us. It saved us 2-3 days worth of work because we just gave it the data. It analyzed it for us. We got our insight, and then we moved on. Right. So yeah, AI is helpful in a lot of ways. So some of you used to use that and help. Well, I use Claude.ai. It's free for the most part of it, but then it's a bit limited with entries. If you want right, I'm on the paid version. If you want the paid version, that one has a lot more allowance. You can do a lot of stuff, and it's way better than ChatGPT. Right. Yeah. So when people say AI will take their job, I'm a bit skeptical because Me, I'm using AI to do my job better. So AI will complement those who know how to use AI. So yeah, get on the AI train. You can use it to analyze data. You can use it to set questionnaire questions. You can use it to um, um, what do I use it to? I've said dummy text already. Um, yeah, plenty things. Treat AI like your junior designer, right? Yeah, or your design intern. Yeah, something like that. But you can't send AI to buy watch it for you. So sorry about that. So this was this is another iteration I was doing for the card language learning card, whether the flag should be on the left or on the right. Um, yeah, well, or it should be here without the FR. I was editing a lot of things here, right? Is this prototype? No, it's not. No, it's not. How do you decide what component element is best in returns in the kind of information in a certain context? Well, it depends on what you want to put, give to the user, what you want the user to understand, right? I can't give it. What you're there for. Okay, let me use this example. For example, here, I want the user to be able to click here. I want the user to be able to click this button. I want the user to be able to click here. So I need to make it look like something that's clickable, right? I need to make it look like something that's clickable. This is just displaying information. I don't need to make it look clickable, right? So when you come to this screen, the things that will jump out to you that are clickable are first the button, second these things, third this drop down, then this bottom sheet, right? So you need to ask yourself what you want to do at the end of the day, and then that's why you also have to have an understanding of how a lot of components work in general, a lot of components how they feel, so that at the end of the day you also know what to use at every point in time. So how do you know? How do you decide? Look at a lot of designs from other people, download a lot of apps, see the patterns that they use in it, and you'll be opening yourself up to a lot of patterns people use in their products, right? I hope that answered the question. Or I total papa. Please, has that answered your question? Yes. All right. Thank you. We thank God. How far should one go when seeking inspiration? Is copy smally allowed? If you've not watched Reagan's video, go and watch Reagan's video. I talked about inspiration. Reagan, please, if you are here, drop your link, right? And subscribe to Reagan. We want to get to 4,000 followers, 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year.
Oh yes.
Reagan, drop the link. And
Unscripted.
yes. Unscripted. So yeah, how far should you go when seeking inspiration? Don't go too far that you start to not do the work. Right? A lot of people look for inspiration to the extent that they don't. Yes. Thank you, Cindy. Yes. Reagan, give Cindy one of the t-shirts, right? Yeah, so don't look too far that you don't do your work. Right? Don't look too far that you don't do your work. Don't spend 3 hours scrolling through Dribble and the rest, and then you don't do the work they are supposed to. The only way your work will be able to be completed is when you actually do it. Right? That's the only way it's going to be done. Whether it's ugly design or it's good design, you are not going to complete the work by scrolling Dribble. So, what's the question again? Let's, before I forget the question, let's start answering different questions. How far should you go? Don't go far. Right? So, what you can do is, you are looking for inspiration, take maybe 2, 3, 4 different products that you can learn from, and then start doing something based on what you learn from them. Right? For all you know, whatever solution you are looking for is in those first 3 or first 4 things. Design converges to the extent that at some point every pattern in design is going to look the same. So there's no revelation that you're going to find in the 27th page of Dribble. There's no inspiration that you're going to find there. Right? Whatever information that you find in the first 2, 3 pages, you should be able to see it because design patterns just go round and round and cycle back and all. Right? So give yourself this assignment, pick 2, 3, 4 apps for inspiration, right? And then try to do something based on that. and give yourself that constraint. There's this example of when boxers are training, they train in a very small ring so that when they go into the actual fight, they'll be able to manage space when their opponent is pressing them. Apply that same thing into your design. Give yourself so many constraints so that if you're able to thrive within those constraints, when you join a company or you are doing work for somebody and now you have that open field, you'll be able to thrive in it because you've been able to train yourself to thrive in a very small space. Right. Can you quickly show how you design the button, how it looks? Sorry for the first question. I'm a newbie. Oh, no, I'm also a newbie. My name is Derrick.
Newbie Derrick.
Okay, so the button. Let me pull this out because why did I say that? sorry. Okay, so these are the elements, right? I just have to reuse this. I can't go and copy from another place, right? So I first put this in an auto layout. Just put this in an auto layout. What did I do, stuff? Okay, so we put this in an auto layout, right? Give it some padding. Let's give it 16 padding. Give it a fill of this color, and then we round it up to say, let's do 999. Yeah, so 999, right? So now in order to do this ASIA hop, this thing here, right? You just come to effect, give it a drop shadow, right? Let's put the drop shadow down a bit by giving it this. Now the blur is 4. Let's give the blur 0. Right. The reason why it is the shadow is shadowy is because it is greater than 0. Right. But if we give the shadow 0, it becomes a very solid shadow. Right. And then we can just give the color. Let's say we want to give this color white. Boom. Have you seen? So now with this, we can just control the height of the shadow. When I 7, we can just say, okay, let's do 4. And then voila, we've created this button. So you see, it doesn't hard at all. Who has the question? Okay, yeah, Gen A. Yes, you are welcome. Gen A. Generation A. Gen A. Okay, cool. Let's finish quickly. I have some things to share, but okay. Are you guys okay to go over the time limit a little bit? Are you?
Oh yeah, me a day.
Okay, all right, cool. If, of course, is Charlie, Cindy Walters. Hi, Cindy Walters. Hi, Obazi. Cool. Let's get back to it. Hi, Philip. Thank you for the money you sent me last time. Fraud. Okay, cool. So now let's go to the design proper, right? So after all the iterations I did at the top here, like all this, and then all the other iteration I did in my notebooks and stuff, I started to the happy flow, right? So happy flow is like when your users get into your app and then they don't encounter any error at all, what flow will they go through? That's a happy flow. So in my team, what we do is we design the happy flow first, and then we think about edge cases later. So we think about happy flow. Imagine the user does not encounter any issues at all. Their network is perfect. They don't use Airtel Tigo. They have phones that are not iPhone 6 and then Samsung. Like they have the perfect circumstance. That's called the happy flow, right? Sorry, George. You don't live in Nigeria.
But why do you sub my network? What have we done to you?
Or you don't live in Kaswa.
Derek, what have we done to you? Airtel Tigo people, you haven't done anything. You're just serving us.
Airtel Tigo. Your name is Art, but wherever the fan is, you are not wherever the fan is at. Okay, let's continue. Cool. This is my normal design process, right? If you're in the room with me and I'm designing, this is how I am. I talk to myself a lot. I hope I'm not crazy, right? But Maybe I'm a little bit, right? But this is how I design it. Cool. I'm going to tear it out. Okay, so the idea was once the user gets here, they will start going through this model. And I started thinking, okay, how can I get a user to accept certain permissions I want them to do or accept certain things? And the first idea hit me that, okay, let's do a model. Right. So after I did the model, I was happy with this, but then I ran a test and the result I got from the test was very poor because people thought that they just need to hit one of them and then everything is select. Right. People are also not patient enough to read everything. People are also angry that they need to click all this before they close. Like there were a lot of varied opinions and very few of them were good. How I did the test was I used Miro. Is anyone here familiar with Miro? Miro. So I used Miro to do the test, and then so this was the idea that when they get here, as soon as they get to the screen, it opens the modal for them, and people didn't really enjoy that experience. So once again, iteration. I spoke about iteration earlier. Nowadays, I don't prototype like this one. Well, probably I've gotten lazy, but yeah. So this was the first one. I'll show you the results. Um, you are recording and you didn't tell me, and I was saying, Charlie, I'll be spoiling my market online. Okay, cool. So now I didn't like the result that came from this, so I'll show you the improvement on it. Right, this was some of the ideas I had in creating a body and all that. So you can see that iteration is a big part of my work. The fact that I have one idea that works, except of course, time is a very important factor. Except of course, I don't have a lot of time. But then when I have a lot of time or when I have enough time, I test my ideas. So this was with Roxanne. Yeah, this is Roxanne. So I shared the work with Roxanne, and then he also gave his feedback. Right, I shared it with a couple of my friends, and I did some tests on Twitter and stuff, right, just to get people's thoughts on it. So this was version one. So you can see this was where I started. This is version one, this is version two, and version three is scattered across the field. So version one with all these, let's go to version two. So now, so see how this was. So I moved from you checking all those checkboxes to you just reading all these and exploring them. Right. The idea is that if we segment the information better, people would glance through quicker. Right. And because they don't have to do anything here, they are not going to waste time here if they don't want to. So now you see the plan here was that okay, once they get here, boom, we bring it into view. Did I just say it? Once they get here, they bring it all into view. So that is the idea you see. Nice. So once they do this and then they read all this interview, then they can just say explore home and then we bring them here. Right. So and when I started, I didn't have anything close to this in my mind. I just did the first idea that came to mind, which is this, and then based on iteration, based on experiment, based on the research that came, I got some of the things. Yeah, some of the screens are just standard screens. Ideation, selecting the boards, the chat screen. Yeah, cool. So now, assuming I finish everything, right? Let's assume I finish everything. How do you present the work? Presentation is very important when you're working in design. You can't just bring stakeholders into your Figma file and expect them to understand everything. They need to understand what you're talking about. So in presentation, that's why I started doing these frames. So with this, just to explain the concept, language bodies, this is the concept. Just to explain. I'm seeing your tweets, Reagan and Mike. Okay, so presentation is very important, right? You don't need to be a graphic designer to do presentation. You don't need to be a graphic designer to be a presentation. Yeah, let's say graphic design. So there are a lot of things you can use. You can go to the Figma community, for instance. The Figma community is there. A lot of people don't use it. Everybody wants to do from scratch. But just you mockup. Just search for mockup. Right. Just search for mockup. You see Bebre, let's go to files and templates. See, plenty. You see, plenty. So if you are sharing your work on Twitter or on your portfolio or something, don't just copy the screen and put it there in four corners like you are playing ball. Nice. So just come here, right? Just come here, search for mockup. It's a lot of mockups, right? You can use any of these to make your work look nice. That's why hiring managers or other people, they don't take it lightly on designers that have bad presentation for your work, because there are a lot of resources here that you can use to make your work better, or that use your work look better. A lot of the designs, for instance, I was telling Michael and then Hakim this last time. A lot of designs you see on Dribble, they look very nice. But then once you zoom in, you realize that it's baller. Right? It's not because of any juju that they've done. It's just because of the mock-up that they used and because of the way they presented the work. Right? So if you did some work and in your heart, you know it's not nice. And you know deep down in your heart it's not nice. You can use mock-up to beautify the aura of your work. But then you guys are right. There are lots. There are lots of mockups here, right? So I urge you, just go to the Figma community and then download whatever mockup you want to use. Where was I? Yeah, translate practice. Right. Cool. I digress. Yeah, so presentations are very important. Which ones do I personally use? Charlie. Nowadays, I resorted to UI reference. Yeah, so nowadays I document all the designs I do. So this is what I use nowadays. Very simple mockup. So I just have this, right? If it's desktop, I use this. If it's this, I use this, right? But if I want to do something in the portfolio, so this is like for social media stuff, right? And I would then treat everybody to have something like this. I would then treat everybody to have something like this. What this is a very quick way to show people your work, right? It's almost like your portfolio PDF. So you can just save this as PDF and you can share this with people. Like it's a very quick way to share your work with people. So what I have the colored ones and I have the black and white. So this is the colored and this is the normal neutral background. So you see, right? So you can do something like this to share your work, and it's very quick and easy. Just share this with some of our emails or host it on your Google Drive and share the link. Share the link like after hour. Share it with them, and then you'll be able to share your work. And yeah, so I treat everybody to do something like this. Yeah, so this is what I use. I created this myself, go me. But then for my translate body one, I use this. I got this from the Figma community. I mean, Kai, maybe I mean, okay, in terms of using mockup, yes. Whatever bullets that you deserve. Oh yes, you do. I got this one. I took this one also from the Figma community. The hand. Right. Let me see if I can find it. Hand holding phone. Hand holding phone. Hand holding phone. See. This would be nice. Right. You can use all these and then make your work look nice. Don't make your work look like Akufo-Addo designed it. Right. Can we steal yours? And I wanted to ask, can you steal mine? Me, I'm not publishing it on the Figma community, but yeah, you can. Mine is not anything giddy giddy. It's just a phone and then a blank.
Share the link.
Okay, let me write it down. Otherwise, share mockup. Okay, I'll share it and then short.so. Yeah, this is also another nice one. Like, yeah, so mock-up, and when I say mock-up, I don't mean those elaborate ones. I've already spoken go for this slide. I will put it. Alright. Why your temper is like his height? Okay, let's continue. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so and I wanted to ask, how do you introduce aesthetic into our design? When is it aesthetic? I want to believe you mean how to make the mock-ups increase the beauty of your design. Is that what you're saying? So I assume okay, I said, well, yeah, with the mock-up, just think about the context where the users will use it. Right. Of course, if you are designing something for web, you are not going to use this design. Right, because they don't hold web product like that. If you're going to use something for web, use a desktop and all that, right? Yeah, I presume that was your question. How to make your design itself beautiful. Oh, down here, it's with time. Your first design is going to be terrible. I've shown you some of my old ones. Oh, I'm not showing you. Okay. Oh, God. Forgive me what I'm about to show these people. Okay, so these are some of my old designs. All right. This is a screenshot from Fidelity app. This screenshot was taken maybe 3 years ago or 4 years ago. I don't remember when. And it is still the same design that they are using right now. This is why some people don't prosper. Like, how can you give your customers this thing to yes, okay, I'm getting angry. So this was some of the iterations I was doing. Oh gosh. This was some of the iterations I was doing for this is terrible. For the improvement of the app I was talking about. Right. This was the final mock-up. Yeah. I mean, it's better than this, but it's still terrible. Right. So we design. Let me go to another one. Yeah, this is a good lead. This one to typographies all over the place. Yeah, but I used this to get some Galamsey to do, which was very some Saudi Arabia Galamsey. Like, yeah, even though it was terrible, I had font is off. This was popping. I remember the last time I used popping. It doesn't pop anymore. Okay, cool. All right, then. Sorry. Okay, so this was one of my one of my first designs. Right, like it's looking terrible now. Right, sorry about that. Sorry for showing you this rubbish. Okay, yeah, this wireframes, presentation. This you see, I was using mockup here. Today, I don't think I'll use this mockup because it doesn't properly show your work. Right, if the work is slanted like that, people are not going to get the proper view of the work. Right, so that's why you see that all my work now is facing the person head on, so that you don't need to slant your phone or you don't need to do anything to see it properly. You can just see it at once and capture exactly what it is. Right. Cool. What else? Hackathon. I used the design to win $1,000. Yes. So we participated in a hackathon. This was terrible, by the way. We participated in a hackathon with Flutterwave. Flutterwave organized a hackathon, and my team won it. We won $1,000 each. I shouldn't have cashed that money out. And Cabana would have been 16,000. Right. I shouldn't have cashed that money out, but it is what it is. I used the money to buy a MacBook. So
Simple. Good investment.
So this was the mock-up. The idea was that when you plant a tree and then what you can buy tree seeds and then somebody plant a tree for you, and in essence it saves the environment. I don't know how they believed us, but they believed us and we won. And yeah. But it was actually a good idea, to be honest. It was a good idea because what happens is, right, you select the number of trees you want to plant. select where you want to plant them, the type of tree, and then it gives you the amount of money to pay. Once you pay that amount, it gives you points, and then you can redeem those points as in flatter wave credit or reloading credit. Reloading is at an airtime API, something. Right. It was actually a good idea for that time. Yeah, we should have pursued it. Then later it gives you a map. Bro, such a terrible map. Hierarchy here. This place should have been up like this. And then we could have created a spacing here. And then it's okay. You really see color. Awesome. They can't come and call it today. So this mobile. So you could see how, so mobile, the logo. And let me tell you an interesting story about this. So I was the designer on the team. I was the only designer on the team. First, you can come for this agenda plan. These people, and they'll give the contract. Zacchaeus will give the contract to his family people, and then they'll come and it's okay. Then, so the story about this is plant it, right? I thought about this without my teammates, right? Then I was thinking about a logo for this. So I was coming up with ideas for a logo, right? And I came up with this for Plant It. Now, the next day, when we had our stand-up, the engineer had also built like a template that we would use. And the engineer also named his own Plant It. And I got there and I saw Plant It. The engineer was demoing and I saw Plant It. And I said, me too, one is Plant It. And I was like, oh, sir, that was when I knew that would win. See, it was prophecy. Hey, there I was gassed. Okay, cool. Enough about this. Where was I? I think I'll answer the question. Is the handoff appropriate for mobile app job presentation? Depends. Some clients want to see the actual work. Some clients don't want to see mock-up. If you are working in some company, be that I'll not mention the name. If you go and send mock-up to a meeting, they'll blast you. I won't mention the name, but the people who are there, they know themselves. Yeah, here I see them on the call. But then, if you need to know your stakeholders, right? You need to know what your stakeholders would gravitate towards. You need to know what your stakeholders will appreciate, and then you do that for them, right? Because at the end of the day, the design job is pleasing users and stakeholders. That's the job. If you break down the job into why do I feel like, we know them. Once you break down the job to its barest minimum, it's about pleasing users and stakeholders. And at some point, your users are also your stakeholders. So the job is pleasing other people in the room. So look at what your stakeholders want. If your stakeholders want wireframes, give them wireframes. If they want screens, give them screens. If there are stakeholders that are design inclined, they understand design, they know the processes, you can show them wireframes, you can walk them through your process. Those that think that design is something that you wake up to and then you just close your eyes and boom, the design appears on the Figma. They to show them high fidelity, right? Because you don't want the case where a stakeholder will be stressing you out in your work, right? So just find out what they want and give them what they want. Like, consider it doesn't hurt you in any way, right? Okay. Where was I? Let's go to another file. So I have learning file. I have speaker Derrick Tsorme. Speaker Derrick Tsorme is where I have all my slides that I've spoken to. So all these are events or webinars that I've spoken at. Design data. This is the latest one. Design data intensive application. This one was for a webinar. This is the same. This was for Reagan. Then accessibility was for webinar, Synca webinar, in-person, UX Ghana, webinar, design thinking. This one I use for Haptel and then the webinar too. In-person events in Nigeria, webinar. Yeah. Are those available? Yes, they are available to me. Yeah. The way I do my slides, I struggle to share them because you won't understand anything. right, let me walk with you around. Unless I share it with, unless I am the one explaining to you, you probably not understand. Right. So like they are all short notes, right? They're all short notes that if you read it alone, you might not really get what. So you see, I did some demos here, I did some demo here, right? And this is still very short. So I struggled to share my slides. The one that I was able to share freely was this one because it was a lot. I spoke for almost an hour straight. So these are the slides. Right. I spoke for almost an hour straight. And yeah, but I've shared it. This is on the Figma community, by the way. Let me share the link. Sharing the link like what? Somebody should end it. Somebody should conclude it. Let me share the link like what? Just unmute and say it. Okay, let me show.
Alpha.
Exactly. Cindy is in the spirit. Cindy, I'll buy a car for you. What car do you want? So this
La Paz
is the, what did you say?
La Paz Toyota.
Okay, so then I think this would be my longest slide for the longest slide I think I've ever done. Is this the longest? Oh no. This was the shortest by number of pages, but then the longest by the amount of time I've spoken. Or Bafo. Non-Bafo. Sorry, I'll also buy a car for you. The car I can buy for you is carrots. Okay, so this is another slide I have. Obazi. Is that a pronunciation of your name? Is it Obazi? Osawaru? Is that a pronunciation? Okay. Whilst he feeds us with the and what makes a bank is it? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll talk about this very soon when I'm going through my portfolio. I'll talk about this very soon. Yeah, then we have live stream. This was when I thought I was a content creator, but then the career didn't lift from the ground. You see, 2 years ago, I'm far say whatever. Okay, so yeah, I might pick this up soon, right? I don't know. Then we have portfolio. Portfolio. This was I'll come back to this right now. Then we have Figma community. These are files that I've shared to the Figma community. Let me share my link with you so that you can check some of the stuff out. How do I even share link with? Okay, figma.com/UXDerrick. So these are all the files that I've shared with the Figma community. Maybe one of them might be of use to you. Then so this Figma community, these are all the files I've done. Then friends of Figma. Okay, this is what. Okay, we moved this to another file. So I was the co-lead for Friends of Figma Africa, Accra. Right. I was the co-lead for Friends of Figma Accra, and together with Hakim. I'm not sure if Hakim is here. Hakim, if you're here, say hi. If he's not here, to go and tag him on Twitter. Tell you to come in. Alright, then we have freelance. This is my Galamsey field. I've not done actual Galamsey in a while, but this was my Galamsey. There are some that are not here because once I finish, I move them to their respective. And this is the newest one I've created, the 4% design. So I'm using phosphor icons. This is a very nice icon pack. Let me show you. Let me send you the link. Phosphor icons. This is a very nice icon pack that you can use. It's really cool. Right. So I just downloaded the Figma file. I'm not like Marlon. Marlon is here. Right? I'm not like Marlon who draws icons. Me, I can't draw icons. So I go to Fossil Icons, and then I just install the icons into my design system, and that's what I use. It's open source. Is it open source? Wait, yeah, I think it's open source. But then you can use this free to use, right? You don't need to. Yeah, it is open source. It's open source. You have their GitHub here. Yeah. So Fossil Icons, you can use Fossil Icons, and I use the. I was using this. What was I using this for? Is it the phone mockup? Yes, I think I was using the phone mockup for this. Where is this? Yeah, I was using that. Yeah, I was using this for iPhone mockup. The screen mockups. Yeah. If you go to the Figma file, you find it on the community. Yes. So let's go to portfolio. Right. This one some people are interested in. Then this was a case study, a presentation I did for my case study. Then what else should we go to? This was designed by what's his name?
Elikem.
Elikem, yes. Elikem. Where is he now?
He's a farmer now.
He's a farmer.
Yeah.
I know he was doing some gardening sometime.
Proper like rural farmer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's the goal. We will leave the tech for Reagan and his boys. And then we'll go and enter some. Yeah. So he did this one, and then I looked at it, and I was trying to do my own design. But yeah, I'm far. Then yeah. So this was the one I was doing for myself. I just duplicated his file. Hi, I'm Derrick. I make the use of web and mobile product delight intro. Then yeah. So this was what I was trying to do. Where is this? Hi, I'm Derrick. Oh, this is nice. Let's do black. Hi, I'm Derrick. I make them. This is actually nice. Was he the one that did this or I did it? Oh, I'm the one that did this.
I don't think I've seen this in his file.
Yeah,
I don't
bro.
think so.
When did I do this? Let me see version history. January 2022. Some of you are still in uni by then. Some people are still doing school feeding program. I know them. They are here. Look at the names of the emoji under the emojis. You know, they are the ones. Okay. Cool. Let's go to this. So I have a portfolio, right? But then I'm not satisfied with it. Every day I have to change something about it because that's how Derrick is. Let me show you what I have right now. Okay. If you follow me, you know that me and my portfolio have a beef. Doing something else. Derrick Tsorme. Okay, cool. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Nice. Just mention it. So this is my portfolio right now. And if you follow me for long, you know that this is not where it was. Right now it has changed a lot. Just 2 days ago I added a couple of things. Yeah. Come again?
Plenty evolution.
Yes. You know, as human beings, you need to evolve. You can't stay at one place, right? You need to evolve, evolve. Evolve is such a beautiful word. So yeah, so this is how it is now, right? If you come here maybe next week, it might not look like this. So
Next week, tomorrow. Tomorrow
if there's
evening.
something tomorrow, it's even valid. During this evening now, if there's something you want to take from this one, just take it right now because by tomorrow it might not be. So now let's go to where let's go to okay, let me take you back to Figma. Now with this one, I hardly do any designs for my portfolio. right? Because at this point, let me show you what I have in Figma. Now, version 2. Okay, cool. When I decided to build my portfolio myself, this was the idea I started with, right? At that point, I wanted to learn Flutter. Is Philip still here? Because they wanted to be Flutter, and then I ran from Flutter. Yeah, Philip is still here. I ran from Flutter to React, and yeah, I've reacted well to it. Okay, so I need somebody to read the comments and be dropping bars. Like, once I say just drop bars, I need somebody who will volunteer to do that. Because I'm dropping a lot of gems. Okay, Emmanuel, thank you. Okay, so this is where I started with my portfolio, right? This is where I started. The idea was to make it an infinity canvas so that you'd be able to drag wherever. And I saw somebody had already implemented that. And I was like, yeah, that person is more popular than me. So somebody who just come inside stole the idea. And I started doing something like this. So who remembers this one? This is one of the first versions of the portfolio. Who remembers? Like, this was one of the first versions. Yeah, when I started learning, this was one of the first versions. Then I started building on it. I added this. I added a Spotify widget that would show you the song I was listening to. Bro, I was doing mad things. So that's right now. I bomb. So yeah, this was an idea I never built because I did it. It was nice. When I woke up, I saw that it was terrible. I see the vision, but the vision was not visioning. Yeah, you understand. Okay, cool. Then yeah, so this was the hydration. Then I settled on this, right? So you see how different the current one looks from this. Ever since this one, I've not done any proper designs on this, but I have a portfolio design that's ready to go, but I've not built it yet. I'll show you that after this. You'll be like, maybe I've shown it to a couple of people, but not everybody. So this is a Derrick exclusive, right? Nice. So this was an idea I had. So I actually built this, right? This was live a couple of months ago. This was live a couple of months ago. This was live a couple of months ago. At first, I was hard coding my portfolio, the content. I was hard coding the case studies. Before one day, I was like, yeah, I need to store the content somewhere. So I'm using sanity.io right now. So that now, if I want to update my portfolio, I don't need to go to code again. I just go to sanity.io and then update the content there. And then I'll just read it on my case study, on my portfolio. There the UX. Yeah, they need to pay me more. Because right now, Matra, be careful. Sorry. Okay, cool. So those are content on my case study. You see, like this actually the actual case study. This is not dummy text. I actually wrote the case study inside Figma. Right? It's not dummy text. This is actual case study. And it was really tedious because I had to hard code this. And yeah, it took like a couple of nights. Right. I was adding a video section to my case study where I want to show a video, right? Now, the next version of my case study that is not out or that I might build, no, this not this, this not this. No, this not it, this not this, scratch that, this not it. This was, I was trying to do a dark mode for the current one, but I'm far. I was seeing the vision, but once again, the vision was not visioning. Okay, this is the one that I was talking about, version 4. Yes. So this is the one that I wanted to build. But I think I'm satisfied with what I have right now. I'll just keep iterating on what I have. But this is the idea that I had. So to build something like this, let me see if I can hide these lines. Remove guides. Oh, I can't remove all the guides. Is there a way to remove all guides? Let me see. Remove all vertical guides. Yeah. Remove all horizontal guides. Sweet. Yeah, so this is, yeah, I was seeing the vision, but the vision was not seeing it. That's a very nice way to put it. So this was an idea I had to build something like this, and the mobile is going to look something like this, and then the smaller version will look something like this. The parts where I really put a lot of work was like this. So the idea is that when you scroll, the yellow would come and be on top, and then the screen background would change to yellow. Right? You get the vision. Like the vision was, so let's say if you scroll and you are now on the purple, the background screen will become purple. Right? That was the vision. And the mobile is like this. So the mobile, once you scroll, it goes on top of this. Yeah, at some point, I don't know, but I'm satisfied with what I have right now. But if maybe by the end of the year I don't do this, I can give this out to somebody. Yeah, then playground, something like this. It looks some way, but yeah, and this one, the guest book. After that, I'll tell you why currently I've removed the guest book from my website. I'll tell you why. But then with this one, the idea was that when you get here and you sign, the guest book will fall from Judge over. So let's say it will fall from the top like this. So you see, once you enter the guest book and you click post comment, and then it will fall. It will fall down and then it will be among the brethren here. That was the idea. That was the vision I had for this one, right? Yeah. And I removed this feature from my website. Let me show you. Let me show you. I removed it because how do I put it? It started looking like an ego thing than people leaving their comments. It's still there, but you can't see it on my website. Guess what? This is what I'm talking about. So once you enter the nickname, once you enter, let's say Michael, and then you enter, hey, I was here, and then you sign this book, it updates and then it shows you here, right? This was a very simple Firebase integration that I did. But then after a while, I realized that I still had a lot of things to learn, and seeing people hype you here is not really good for your learning journey, right? So I took it off my website. I took it off. What was the website? I took it off on the 26th, maybe 27th. I took it off on the 27th of April because I didn't think it was necessary again. So you see, I had a lot of comments. Please, maybe one day I'll bring it back when I think I've reached, but right now I don't think I've reached. So yeah, it's still in the code, but you can't access it when you come to recreate.com. Okay, let's go back to the Figma. Go. All right, cool. So yeah, this is the evolution of my portfolio. What is this? Okay, this is an illustration. This was the picture that people were talking about. I've changed it. Why?
Gosh, come on, 007.
Okay. It's like 000. This is like 000 because she. This, now I'm using, what am I using right now? I've changed it. Yeah, this is why I designed all my OG images. OG is Open Graph. So when you share a link to social media, you see the picture that you see. It's called the Open Graph image. So this is what I use for the design tools. How many of you have tried the design tools, by the way? Cindy, okay, nice. But I don't, all of you are giving thumbs up. I don't see your name in the leaderboard. So are you lying to me or you are what? Let me go and check the leaderboard. Never. You don't think you can lie to me?
Home support.
No, you don't support. Yeah, body background. Praise.
Oh god, you are going to check leaderboard like you didn't do the leaderboard this morning.
Bro, who is this? We go again.
Oh god.
Let me check leaderboard. Meanwhile, some people have started going through. Okay. Let me check my leaderboard.
Oh god.
I saw Cindy. Cindy, where is your name? Wow.
See, you make Philip run away.
Philip left. Small play, go check it. Yes. Okay, let's go back to Philip. Okay. All right. If you have any question, please drop it. Right. Yeah. So this is where I design my open graph images. I do like everything inside Figma. people like to use maybe Illustrator for some of the crispier stuff. Yes, I'll explain handoff. But I like to do some of mine. So the OG image for this, and then Twitter likes to use a very small OG image. So I do the Twitter one separately. Then some of my other, this is my favicon for my website. It's just my image with some blending options put there. So if you open my website, you see your browser, you see the small image there. The OG image moved from this. I don't know why I even did this. It looks terrible rather I look at it. It looks like some speech and prize giving the award, that the plaques that they give to the people who win awards. That's what it looks like. Then it moved to here, UX portfolio. This was okay, but this white was not looking nice in like the OG image when we displayed it. Then now I'm here. I think I'll keep this for a bit. And so I don't know. I can just wake up tomorrow and then one of the ancestors told me that I should change it. Then I'll just change it. Cool. Let's do design handoff. Right. What project can I show you that I've done design handoff? Can I even show you this? No, I don't think I can show you this. Let me see if I can show you this. Bro, there are a lot of things I can't show you. Okay, let me see Tasso. Okay. Other finance. This one was 3 years ago. So what I did for something handoff was to define a color palette, right? To define a color palette for the devs, to define typography, right? Then I did the another typography. This was a template I think I got from the framework community. Then input field. This input field I stole them from Untitled Design. And I just did some catcher around it, and then I used it in that project. So yeah. Then yeah, so I did a spec sheet. So if it's a component that you want to be very precise, you can do this for the design for the engineers. There's a plugin you can use called Measure. Let me show you how Measure works. So something like this, you use the plugin called Measure. Where's Measure? Is this Measure? Yeah, this Measure. So Measure, nice. So with Measure, I've said Measure so many times in the space of 1 minute. So okay, so with the plugin, what you can do is once you select the thing you want to measure, I've said Measure again. Once you select the thing you want to susu, you would come to the plugin, and then you can click on this, for instance, and then it will measure it for you. Right? You can click on the input field here, and then you click, let's say this side, and then it measures it for you. Right? You can click the text and then do this side, and then it measures it for you. Right? So you can do this to make your handover better. Let me pick one design from my Blima things. No, not here. No, let's do gradients. Okay, let's pick something like this. So if we bring this design here, and then say we want to do the spec sheet for the button, we can just click here and then do the, okay, let's, oh no, shit. Okay. Boom, boom, the boys back to the days, back to the days, back to the Okay, cool. So now we select this. We can say, okay, boom. Let's do a sticker sheet for the components. Did you see what happened? So we can do boom. So now this component, we've now generated the name. We've gotten the width, the height, the color, the border radius, the percentage opacity, and then the alignment. I've forgotten what this means. But yeah, with just this plugin, you can do this for your devs. Right. So let's take this again let's take this component. This component here, right? Let's change the name to chip. Now with this one, once I click here, but have you seen? Now we have the name chip, we have the width, the height, the color, the border radius. So you can do this for your devs in your handover, right? Let me see if I can. Wait, can you hear me still?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You are letting me do
Oh.
monologue like that. Hey. Okay.
Robbie, you are teaching, so we have to be quiet. Listen.
But do you understand the use of this component? Like, it's very powerful. It helps a lot. Let's do one last one. Let's do for text. So hey, go like that. So we bring this one out, and then we click it. Wow. You see. So now it gives us the name. It gives us even the font. It gives us the font weight, and it gives the font height, the font size, right? And it gives the color. So you can use this for your dev handles, and it works clearly. Some other things you can use is to write notes. I don't know if this was a project I did with Isaac, aka Puski. So did I note something here? This way we did it for a hackathon. No, I didn't write any notes here. No notes. No, this is terrible for displaying this. What can I show you that I had notes on? Okay, let me just depict it for you. For example, with this, I can just tell the dev that, okay, I can just tell the dev that when customers select a chip, populate the input field. This is a note you can leave for a dev, right? This is a note a simple handoff note you can leave for a dev, and just tag it to this screen and be like, okay, cool. When a customer comes here and they click on the chip, populate the image. It's a handoff, right? You just need to know how extensive you need your dev, or how extensive your devs would want you to be with the handoff. Me, my devs at Yellow Card, all I need to do is write on the chip for them. And then if they want any help, they just call me on Slack and then we chat. That's how they like to work, right? The other devs I've worked with, someone like Isaac will pick his phone and call you and then tell you it's fine. And then both of you solve the issue and then you go back, right? The other devs who want you to be extensive in the writing, you need to know what works for your dev, right? But then the most basic one is you can do something like this. Use the plugin to generate this. If there's something not working, you just write the notes for a dev, right? This is not 100% like, this is not the best developer handoff explanation I'm going to get, but it's one that works, right? Cool. What is that I want to share with you? I've talked about, okay, let's talk about Supernova. Supernova is what I'm using to document my design system, right? Let me share my screen to Supernova. Supernova is a design system documentation tool. If you have any questions, please ask, right? After this, I'll go through a couple of other stuff and we can go to our houses. Amen. So these are the color styles that are defined in Supernova, right? All these are colors, right? Remember the design when I showed my design system in like a few minutes ago or hours ago, right? So these are all the colors that are documented in Supernova based on my design system. So now we have typography. These are all the styles, the textiles I've documented in my design system, right? And what the good thing about Supernova is your devs can just come here and then they'll see all the things that they are doing. So like if I come and click regular, I can come here and see, okay, regular is inter 400, font size 12, line height 18, right? It helps you in documenting your typography, your component, or your design system in general, right? I'm not finished with this. There are a lot of things I can do. I can create new components. I can add new assets and all, right? Cool. So this is my you see, this is my 4% design system. So I'm linking this to my design system, and then I'm just pulling whatever data that I create, right? Yeah, I'm on the free version, so there are a lot of things you can do with the free version. Let's go back to Figma. What did I say? I'll show you again. I showed you Spanova, I've showed you Styler, I've showed you Measure. Contrast. I'm just this thing a lot of people know already. Contrast. Let's go to what file? Okay, 3%. So let's go here. So let's assume we want to check the contrast of this. You can just go to the plugin and check contrast. Right, this I use it quite a bit just to check the contrast of your work. Right. I didn't use it for this design. Let me see whether a fan has a ball at my remember smart something. Oh, yeah, it has filled the normal text, but thanks be to God, we are the children of God. We don't do normal things, so it has passed the large text, right? So let's see the next one. This, yeah, this is not filled. Yeah, I should have used contrast for this, but yeah, you get the general idea. The plugin is called Contrast. It's just called Contrast, and the logo is the green, yellow, blue, whatever here. Nice. Another one that I use is Content Reel. I don't know if I reshared this. Michael, did you share this in your last one?
No, I didn't
Content
share.
Reel.
It was, I think, I was covering the contrast one with,
Or the contrast rather you shared.
yeah, you see the one
Oh,
I told you about the luminosity.
yeah, let me
Yeah,
share.
that
Let
one.
me share Content Reel. Content Reel. I discovered it in 1923. I was designing for my life then. Okay, so let's go to Content Reel. Content Reel. So what Content Reel does is it creates content for you. So something like name. So let's assume you have multiple rows. Let's assume you have 5 different rows of this, right? And then you want to change these two names, but then you don't want to come and type Kwame, what? Yao Polo, Akwesi, Bad Bitch. Like you don't want to come and type this yourself all the time. So what you can do is you come to Content View, right? You select all the text that you want to change, right? And then you just come and search for text. Let's say you want to do name. So you see name here, right? Where's name? Full name, right? So now I just click on full name, and then it changes all the text that I've selected to a random name, which is so cool, right? Let's put our hands together for technology, which is so cool. So now if you have like 200 different rows, you can just select them and then come here and then generate names. One Nigerian designer did some for Nigerian names. What's his name? Michael? Yeah, I think his name is Michael. Let me see. The Niger. What's his name, Friday? The Niger something.
Design mechanic, I think.
No, mechanic. No, let me see. Nigeria names. Let's search Nigeria names. Plugins. Yes, Nigeria name generator. What's his name? Michael Aja. Design Chief Priest. Yes, Chief Priest.
Yeah, design should.
He did one for Nigerian names. If you want to do for the Ghana names and you're able to do it, I'll give you 5 C's. Or I'll give you 20 million naira, which is 12 C's. Sorry to all the Nigerians here. Yeah, but this is another very cool like name generator that you can use, right? Yeah, I'm really happy people are building stuff now. Where was I? Okay, yeah, I was here. So, and the content view does not only deal with text. Let me surprise you. Okay, so let's come here. Content view. Content view also deals with images. So I can come here and say, okay, let me select all these, and I select image, and I can say, okay, boom, I want avatars of male, and I'd be like, okay, 3, 2, 1, boom. See, how cool is that? Right? You don't need to go on Google and then type the bearded man with a boy and then this thing and come in. No, you can just use content view and then generate all these things. Right? It has more things, it has icons, it has plenty of things that you can use. Right? So content view is cool. Clean design. This one is also very cool. Let me show you what clean design does. So let's assume you have a square. No, this one is square, but let me verify for square. Let's assume you have a square. 4 minutes time now, yeah, 2 hours. Charlie, okay, let's do this. We'll wrap up very soon. Okay, sorry if you have taken your time. So let's do 168.89. Right. And now we want to center this, and then because of the 0.89, our design is not like, let's do 10 hours. Hey, Cindy. How many times did I call you? Sorry. How many times? It sounds like some Titi Ghanaian movie. Like you go and do something and then your father will come in. Akusia. How many times did I call you? Okay, so what plugin called? Clean design. Clean document. Clean document is so cool. Let me show you what clean document does. Right. So now you see how this design has 168.89. I can just come to clean documents. Clean documents. I can just come to clean documents and say that, hey, clean documents, make my design pixel perfect. Once I say make it pixel perfect, it just loads, and then you see it has moved from 168 point what to 169. So now my design is pixel perfect. It has removed the decimal there, which is so cool. Because now when you are designing and you see that something is not aligning when you use center, you can just use make pixel perfect, and all your design problems are solved. Right? Technology is so cool. It can do a lot of things like delete your hidden layers. So imagine your Figma file is lagging and then you want to delete your hidden layers. You are sure you don't want to use them again. You just see delete hidden layers and delete all the layers that you've hidden. Can you go over it again? Yes, boss. So with this one, we say let's change the weight to like 169.77. Right. This is not favorable because we have a 0.677 there and it will hurt us when we are aligning stuff. It might look nice, but then it will not look nice. What causes Figma? Yeah, Figma has memory issues. Figma, you should remember, Figma is just a web app running on your computer. Right, let me see if I can. Figma console. Figma is just a web app running on your computer. See, Figma is just a web app running on your computer. So it still has memory issues. Like any browser would have. See, Figma is just Figma is just a network, this network. What am I always saying? Figma is just a web. It's almost like a Figma for your browser working on your app or your computer somehow. So you still have those small issues, just memory issues. Right. Yeah. That's why Figma lags. I hope they will fix that problem with the people who pay for Figma, but it's still, even if you pay $20 million or Figma, still. Okay, so the reason why we are going to use clean document is to remove this 0.77 here. Imagine you have this for multiple files or multiple frames in your file. You can't go to all of them and then click delete, and then do no. So with the clean document, you just select all the affected documents, open the plugin, and then you say make pixel perfect. Once you make pixel perfect, it will round it to the nearest pixel for you. So now the 169.77 has become 16170. So it rounded it up to the nearest one, right? Yeah, maybe I'll 10 now. Okay, let me do speed quick. I've gone through all the plugins I've mentioned, extra tools. Okay, I've mentioned Supernova, page to replace. Okay, page to replace. This one is very cool. People don't like using it. Let's see if we have a red thing, and let's assume this is here, and I want to paste this in this one's place, right? Instead of just bringing it here and then measuring it to make sure it fits, I can just copy this, and then I come here and I do Command Shift R, and I paste to replace. Or I can just copy here. For those who don't like using shortcuts, I don't know why people don't like using shortcuts, but I can just do copy, and I come here, right click, and then do paste to replace, and then it just replaces it. So now this works very well if you have your things in auto layout, and then you don't want to disrupt the arrangement of things. So you can just use paste to replace. So you can do same here, copy, select, Command Shift R, paste replace. Right. I use this a lot of times. Like almost every day I use this in my design because I don't like just doing normal copy paste. Right. Paste to replace is the way. So yes, if you've not used paste to replace before, please use please use paste to replace. Nice. Okay, let's do
I
ball
think
grading.
Reagan has a video around like Figma shortcuts, something like that.
We
I'll
have the
find
link.
it. Yeah, I'm going to find it.
Nice.
Find it.
Then we'll just plug it. Remember, I want to get Regan to what? 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year. The 4,000 subscriber will get a Matiz from Regan. Okay, so bulk renaming. So let's assume we have these three. Let me increase them. Okay. So let's say we want to name all these things Derrick. Right now they are named rectangle 7, rectangle 11, rectangle 14, rectangle this, rectangle that. But let's assume we want to name it Derrick / rectangle. Let's just assume that's what we want to name it. Right. We can, instead of going into each of the boxes and then type in Derrick / Derrick /, what we can do is we can just select all of them, right? And then we do Command R. Command R brings up this modal where we can rename our layers. Let me do it again. I think I've resized. Okay, this should be better. Can you see clearly now?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. All right, cool. So, if you want to rename layers, you can just do Command R. So, Command R, while you've selected all the layers you want to rename. Now, this, I can rename to something. So, let's say I want to rename to Acrobatic. And I hit Enter. It will rename all the layers to Acrobatic. So now, see, this is called Acrobatic. This is called Acrobatic. This is called Acrobatic. Right. So let's go back to rectangle. So let's say you want to do another type of name. I want to do Derrick / rectangle. Right. Because the first name is already rectangle. You see, they already are rectangle, this rectangle, that. So I can use Shift R, Command R, sorry. Or if you're using Windows, it's Control. Right. So I can do Derrick / and then I want to use the current name, and I just click current name. So when I do rename and I click this, see Derrick / rectangle 7, and I do the Derrick / rectangle 4. This is very important if you are dealing with design systems because you want to name your styles accordingly. You want to name your components and variants accordingly. So you can use this. If you're also the type of designer that you forget, like me, you forget to name your layers. Right, and then you're going to, if I'm working my normal file, I don't need my layers. I know them by name. I call them and they respond. But then if you are doing a proper work for somebody and then you want to name your layers, you can just select all the layers and then rename them accordingly. So if this is the home flow, you can just select all of them like this. Then you do Command R, change it to home, hit enter, and then now we have this. If you want to make them separate a bit, you can just do Command R, home, dash, and then you say, okay, you add a number, and then you hit enter. Now we have home 1, home 2, home 3, home 4, home 5. Right? There's an actual cut I use a lot of the time. The last one, paste image from a layer panel. Say you have an image. Let me come and copy this. Say we have this image. Right? And I want to paste that. Oh, see, Siri is activating. All right, cool. So say I want to put an image in this. Right? This is a normal rectangle. All I need to do is come to this side, fill, right? There's space between fill and then the border. This small tiny space. You click it and then you paste the image in it. Right? Did you see what happened? So let's do another one. I come here, right? I come to an image. Let's say I want to copy this image. I just click this image, come here, click here, it will highlight, then I copy, Command C. Right? I just copy, Command C or Control C. Now I can come to any rectangle, or let's draw a rectangle. And then that image that I copied, Command C, I can click here and then Command V. And then now that image, you see it's on top of this. So now that image is inside this. So the people who code know background image, right? So it just becomes the background image. And then you can play some tricks on it. You can just bring this up. You can change this to say white. And then you change the blending option. And then you can do some very amazing stuff here. Right. Let's do overlay and let's change. You see, you can do all this. So let's compare the old one. You see, so with this we can do some pretty cool things. Cool, something like this, right? And we did this without any effects. We just use blending option and then we fill the image to this, right? Yeah. Those are all the things I have up my sleeve. So I'll show you my file structure. I'm going through some of my old designs. I'm going through some of the stages in my career. We've gone through my portfolio. We went through a project, how I started a project from this. This was how I started the project. Just here. No, this was the first. This is how I started the project. It went here. Then I did some, then now we have a presentation. And then now I have my slides that I share, right, for the case study. And I share the link to my portfolio too. If you want to read about the case study. We went through some of my very, very old designs, which I'm not so proud of. But yeah, sorry for exposing you to such toxicity. Yeah. Some of my older designs, then hackathon, then 1% better, where I went through the first stage of my career, where I was learning some of the basic stuff. Then we went to 2% better, when we went to the second stage of my career. I mentioned this is something I got from Shay. Then these are some of the things that I learned. I never finished this. I was trying to do a dashboard. I never finished it. Hey, Derrick. Doomsaw. Yeah, I posted this project some time ago. Who remembers this project?
Yeah, I think it was on your Twitter.
Yeah. This was the whole file. This was where I did everything. Hey, what is this? Nah, I think this one was helping somebody else or something. Okay. Yeah, this was the project. I didn't even post the whole thing. I did more screens. So this was the first screen. This was, let me see. Oh, I prototyped it. Oh, sweet. Okay, let's see. If I hit plus, then we hit power outage, and then we can enter, and then post my updates, and then we come here. Yeah. The map. Did I prototype the map too? Yes, I did. Okay, so this is the map that I. Okay, cool. Then we went to 3% better. So 3% better. These are some of my recent stuff. This one I wanted to do, I never did. This is not live. I don't think it will be live for a bit because right now I'm very busy. So, but you might not know. I'll wake up one morning and I'll just tweet this. My brain works weirdly. Then I've started learning illustrations. Yes, so I can tension the illustrators on the timeline. So these are the first two that I've done. They will come. Other ones will come soon. This I was playing around with Figma AI. Let me show you Figma AI. For those who don't have access to Figma AI, let me show you Figma AI. So, a Ghanaian holding a Ghana flag and in sports wear. Okay, boom. Let's hope Figma gives us something proper. Because last time I did it, it gave me a man wearing skirts and then going to school. This is actually dope. See, why with the Figma AI, so we can. This is actually really cool. See, it's just the face. See, the face has done like. You see when Banku falls on the floor. Okay. Then the other ones. Yeah. Like this is actually cool. The images are actually cool. And this is in the Figma. Yeah, let's do one last one. Then we would start calling it a night. This was really cool to do. She looks like she had a pot belly. Yeah, that she's covering it. But yeah, don't pot belly shame people. Obazi. Okay, let me show you another one that the Figma AI does. You can remove a background. Once I click remove background, it will remove the background and then nice. And then you can use this in our design. I think they actually tried with the AI. Right? They actually tried with the AI stuff like this. Yeah, I don't know how they selected the people to give it to, but for some reason I got it. So don't worry. Send me all your Figma AI requests. You want me to build a house with AI? Just let me know. Right. Let's do a last one. Make an image. What should we do? Product designer crying during design critique. Okay. Crying during design critique. Hopefully it gives us something nice. Yes, this is perfect. Yeah, these are some of you feel inside when your stakeholders are giving feedback. It is normal, right? It's normal. I have a designer friend, she's not here, she has cried before. I'll not mention anything, but I don't think she's here. Yeah, she's not here, so I can say it, yes. But I'll not mention anything. It is normal, right? If a stakeholder hasn't made you feel bad before, they haven't started your career. Yes, please, Michael Pepe, what are some common mistakes you see entry-level designers making and how can they be avoided? Filter whatever advice you get from the senior designers. A lot of the senior designers' advice are biased based on where they are at the moment. So if you ask me whether you should do wireframe, I might tell you that, I don't do wireframe for some of my projects. That's because I've been doing design since 2013, right? But then you would need wireframe because you've not done a lot of design to understand all the things required in a user interface, right? So yes, listen to a lot of seniors, but filter whatever advice you feel because a lot of the advice is biased based on what they know and then what they have learned. That's why I had a problem with design education because a lot of the designers in Ghana learn from designers that are in US, Canada, and the rest because they are creating the most content on design, right? So imagine you go and you go and do the Google course and learn design thinking. You learn, as a stakeholder, as a designer, you need to present data to your stakeholders. You need to do research and the rest. And then your first design job, what they slide, what they PowerPoint are called, then they'll blast you. And so we don't do that here. You understand? So sometimes context matters. sometimes context matters, right? So yes, listen to advice from people, but then think about the advice before you implement it. I tweeted last time out, the fact that something works in San Francisco doesn't mean to work in Kaswa. It is very true. If you take advice from somebody who is not in your context, or if you take advice from just anybody and you apply all that advice without necessary context, you might lose a lot by applying it in the wrong context. Right. So yeah, listen to everyone, but filter a lot of the information. Can Kaswa people rest? Even they themselves are not resting, and you want me to let them rest. Okay, sorry to Kaswa people. I'll find other people to I'll find I'll find other people to stress. But yeah, refer people are there. Even in Sawam, if you can't wear white in Sawam because by the time you get there, not that brown. Okay, yeah. Advice to entry level designers. Don't chase money. Don't chase money at the beginning. Right? Money is important, but then when you chase money too much in the beginning, you will lose focus, and then you might price yourself out of a lot of opportunities. Right. My first salary was what, 2,500. Right now, if they give that money to some people, they will say, "Oh, it's small. I have to buy a car. I have to do this. I have to do this." And I was at my parents' place by then, so I was eating free food and getting free information. Right. As time went on, they were increasing it small for me. By the time I left, I had late. Right. So don't price yourself out of opportunities. There are designers right now that I advise them to take some job opportunities. Hey, I said, man, there are designers that I advise to take some job opportunities. Yes. And after a while, they got better job opportunities and they jumped because you need experience in order to get experience. Right? If you go to apply to a job and they say we need 2 years experience, and you don't work for 2 years, regardless or no matter how small the money is, you need that experience will lead you into bigger opportunities. But then if you are waiting for the perfect opportunity that hey, my salary should be 20,000 Ghana cedis and it should be remote, you will lose a lot of opportunities, right? Because one thing that we find out when Roxanne was trying to hire a new designer, and then a lot of the people who were coming were saying they wanted to work remote. I'm like, bro, get the opportunity first. So me, when I was at Apple first, my first few months, I was going from Ngwa to Kokobelebe every day. But then after a while, they were like, oh, cool, let's do 1 day. Then it went to 2 days. Then sometimes 3 days. It may be 2 weeks. Now you're not seeing direct space. Right. But so it's gradual, right? But then people want to move from beginner to expert level enjoyment in a space of 1 week. And they start going to courses, and so you become a UX designer within 1 week of course. Oh boy. Right. You can tell us the difference between UI and UX, but the job and concern, right? It takes some time. It's like I've deviated. Right. Michael, have I answered some of your questions? I've said a lot of things.
There's something I want to add to this one too.
Yes, please do.
I don't remember who I was having this conversation with, but I think a lot of people, I think it was Benjamin Saki on the UX Ghana call we had last week. A lot of people see design, or tech on social media, and then they think it's all about the flashy lifestyle, working remote. You see how, like, if you watch a day in the life of a product designer or software design engineer
From
in
Google.
Google, right? They just get up, do their thing. You don't even see them working. It's like you don't even see them working.
You go for
Right.
yoga.
Exactly. But then the reality of it is quite different. Where, see, like, look at us now. It's what, 10:19, 10:20, but we are here on the call learning. Like, the whole career path isn't about just you getting up, going to do your 95 and you finish. Right? It's literally like maybe 16 hours a day or more
Yeah.
type of thing. Right? So if you are looking to get into design and you think, oh, what you see on social media is how it's going to be like, bro, I swear, hey, it go
when
over
I
you.
was it reminded me when I was getting into the product design, when I was trying to transition. I didn't even know I was trying to transition. It was a cool thing I was trying to do. So but what I was doing was I was spending at least 8 hours a day. At that time I didn't have a job. right? I didn't have a job. So I could do that 8 hours. When I wake up and everybody goes to work, I was the only one at home. I'll sit by my desk, do maybe 4 hours, take a break, come back, 4 hours, grind in the evening and all that. And I did that for a bit, maybe 1 month plus, consistently, right? So I don't expect everyone to have that same experience, right? The path to tech is not linear, right? It is quadratic. It's sorry. The path to tech is not linear, right? It can take a lot of different turns, right? But then one thing that is consistent across is consistency, and then knowing how to push through the grind, right? That's why I mentioned a lot of, like I said, designers learn from designers outside and who are not in your context. Because if you are working for Google and the rest, you might be working on a very small feature that might not require a lot of work every day, right? But then when you are working for, say, a Ghanaian company that you are handling 2-3 projects at once, you might not have the time that they have to wake up in the morning, and then your first thing to do is to open your journal, and then you write about the good things you're going to do, and then go and do yoga and go to the office and eat office breakfast and the rest. But kaswa, why not my office breakfast? And we went to cocoa or client. Right. So yeah, also the context is different. And the amount of time somebody might have to be doing, so you've been seeing people posting a lot of things on Twitter, posting a lot of designs on Twitter. It's not because they are superhumans or something. You're attacking wellness. Right? Sometimes think about the context. Right. Right now, I mean, we have mesopods and we have like small teams. And I mean like 4 or 5 teams in my company. Right. So if I'm complaining that I am tired, it's not because I am lazy or something. It's also a different context. You might go to another company and one designer is working in the whole company, right? They're handling everything. You are going to another company where one designer is handling a button, another designer is handling a screen, one designer is handling one feature, which is also cool. So whenever you take advice, this is back to my first point. Whenever you take advice, filter the advice, and then not just take every advice with like just swallow it wholeheartedly. Take every other advice with a pinch of salt, right? And try to see whether it works for your context, right? Cool. Any other question? Hey, we're almost doing 2 hours, 30 minutes. Michael, is this your longest session?
Yeah, this is the second one. The first one was like an hour or
Oh,
so. So yeah, you are kind of setting the pace for
ah.
people who come.
Please, if there's any question, you can just unmute and ask. You don't need to type it. All right. How important is coding knowledge for you and your user? And to what extent should I learn it? Okay, this is a biased answer coming from me, right? I'm letting you know it's a biased answer because I enjoy it. Yes, yes, it's a biased answer. I'm letting you know. But then, for just to, if I'll to try and make it like neutral, it is important to understand some very basic things. You don't need to learn how to code. No, you don't need to. You can choose. There are a lot of designers that are doing well for themselves and they don't know how to code, right? But one thing that would help you in your work as a designer is just to understand what is going on. So if you look at code, you shouldn't be completely lost. You should at least see that, oh, Dave is here. You should at least point out, okay, this is this CSS something. Just the very basic is enough, right? What this helps you do is it helps you communicate better with the engineers. So when you need something built, and then the engineers, when the engineers ask you, okay, how does this work? How does this work? You can explain it well enough for them to understand. Right. There was a time recently where we wanted to implement something, and then I just opened codepen.io, and then I wrote some small code and then sent it to the person. And the person, oh, cool, and the person implemented it. right? I'm not saying you should learn it to that level, but then you should understand, learn to the point where you can say that, oh, okay, I know what's going on. I cannot write a code, but I just say, okay, I cannot write a code, but I know what's going on, right? Just to that extent. But if it's not something you are interested in, don't force yourself, right? Don't force it. There are designers who have been successful without learning how to code. But once again, my biased answer, my very biased answer would be yes.
Okay, Derek, let me add something to that one
Yeah.
too, right? Because I think before you decide to learn how to code or learn how to do anything, you should have a why. Like why do you want to learn this? Because let's say maybe you're a designer, you're a UX designer, you want to learn how to code. There are also other things you need to learn as well as a designer. It could be how to use AI in your work, designing illustrations because maybe the company you're working at, the only designer, and you can't get them to buy illustrations and all these things.
Yeah.
So you need to know exactly why you want to learn something before you jump into learning it. If you follow people on social media saying that, oh, as a product designer or UX designer, you need to learn how to code, you need to learn how to do branding, you need to learn how to do this, how to do that. You spend all your time learning everything, and then at the end of the day, you might actually end up learning nothing, or you might even be burnt out as well. Because like you are trying to learn everything and do your work and do all the other things you have to do in 24 hours, and you're human. So yeah, so before you spend your time going around learning what you want to learn, just come up with the why. If the why, the reason is strong enough, then sure, go ahead. But if it's not, then yeah, just put it on backlog. Come back to it later if you need to learn it to do one or two things here and there. Yeah.
Yeah. The reason I wanted to learn code, so the why you mentioned is very important. Because that's one thing that will keep you going. Because it gets difficult at some point. The reason I wanted to learn is to build stuff. These are all the things I built when I started learning. Just because I wanted to build silly things, things that I'll be sitting in my room and be giggling, right? So if you are with me and I'm writing code or something, you see, like I'm so proud of myself when I'm able to do some of these things. Because there are tools that I would use and there are things that are very silly, right? So yeah, listen to what Michael said. Find a why. Do you need to learn it? Yes. Okay. Why? If you want to build stuff for yourself, totally go for it. If you want to use to educate yourself and then talk well with your engineers, that's also good. But yeah, what Michael said, like, it's very important, right? Number 4, it's a little hard to find Ghanaian UI UX designers. So where should we look? So me and Michael and you free Burkina Faso or if you see go through the list. We have Abdul Sharif Abdul Aziz. We Canada uh, Daniel Anson,
You can now just drop
Daniel
out.
Anson, if we Desmond Dankwa. Dankwa is from where? Is from Mali. Okay, let me see your message. Content creators. Okay. All right, you are lucky. You are lucky. So, okay, so Reagan has a couple of videos. FOF Ghana has a couple of videos. We have like 3 videos up or 4 from recordings that we've done.
Yeah, I think UX Ghana also has the monthly
Yes,
webinars on the YouTube channel, and the Design Junkies podcast is also there
yeah,
as well.
exactly. Yeah, I see. I even
Then
forgot.
there's Building Bytes
Junkyard.
too. There's Building Bytes too. There's Junkyard.
Yes.
There's what else?
Can you?
Plenty. I'll drop them. Let me drop them in the thing.
Okay, you said you have all the emails.
Yeah, I have everyone's email too, so I
So
can.
maybe when you are when you are sending a video,
Mm,
you can add those to it.
sure. All right.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, we have a lot of Ghanaian content. We need more. They are not enough. We need more. Right. We need that one. Yeah, it's very true. We need more. If you consume some of the Ghanaian content and you still need more, you can just jump into Nigerian content. You find a lot more. Right. Then you can. Yeah. It's really cool. Right. It gives you that context. But then doesn't mean you should abandon the Obroni Diano. Yeah, because that's where you get the dollars. Right. Cool. Any more questions? It's exactly 2 hours, 30 minutes since I joined the call. I've really had fun. From this experience, I think I'll be a good streamer because I improvised a lot of what we did today for 2 hours, 30 minutes. Yeah, which is very. I need a massage and then some. Yeah, I had too much fun. Yeah, too much. If I had my way, I don't think I'd have recorded this call because I'll be spoiling my steez outside.
Oh yeah,
FitCon,
FitCon.
yes, FitCon is happening in 9 days' time, if I'm right. Let me
Yeah,
confirm.
that's 3rd August.
Yeah, 3rd August. So let me see if the link is here. FitCon, 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 Luma. I'm coming. Let me copy the FitCon link. Or if someone has it handy, you can just paste it. But I'm coming to copy from FitCon. Invite a friend. Okay, cool. FitCon. FitCon. Cool, yeah. So this is a FitCon link. Register for FitCon. It's an in-person meetup. You would see IV, you see, let me go through. You see Desmond, you see Douglas, you see George Apia. No, you see Apia. George H. Sorry. You see Joseph, you see Philip. Philip and Joseph, they'll be running away from school and they'll come to events. Those boys. Yeah, I really had fun today. Thank you so much for indulging me. Right. I'll leave maybe 10 seconds for questions. If I'm not 10 seconds for questions, then we'll hand over to Michael. Right. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thanks for inspiring us. Oh, that's so nice. Nan. Yeah, thanks so much for listening to me for 2 hours, 33 minutes. Wow. Yeah, Michael, please drop it.
Good. Yeah. What should I even say? No. Thank you for joining. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining. It's been 2.5 hours, just like Derek said, and I think almost everyone has been here throughout the entire time.
Bro,
So
that's
yeah,
I really appreciate that. I really
that's
appreciate that. Thank you
that
for
was
it, bro.
very nice. And thank you, Derek, too,
Yeah,
for
if you have any
showing us.
questions, shoot me a DM. I'll try to reply my DM as often as possible. LinkedIn, if you can find my number anywhere, my email or Michael or yeah, anyone here is like free to talk, right? So if you have any issue, just or mention me on Twitter. Just mention me. Don't DM, just mention me. I think that'll be the fastest way to find me. If I respond, Charlie, I need a PA. All right. Thank you so much for joining,
Uh,
everybody. Thank you, Michael,
uh,
for also inviting me. I really had fun.
Thanks.
Yeah,
So
bro.
I think Winston was asking for the next one. It's going to be next month, but I don't know when yet. I don't know when yet. Like I'm kind of winging the days as as we go. So yeah, but weekly. I beg you, boss. Weekly, we are not gonna fit. I'm not gonna fit. But I'm trying to see if I can do it like twice a month. So maybe, just maybe, the next one could be after FitCon, maybe a week after FitCon. But I also have the UX Ghana one too going on, so I try as much as possible not to have them clashing. Right. So, but then if there's anything, I'll just like tweet it, and then yeah, I'll just like tweet it, so everyone knows when the next one will happen. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining, and yeah, check out Derrick's quiz, and
Yes, let me drop the link.
yeah,
You
check
go
out
after.
Derrick's quiz. I will compress the video and upload it on YouTube because the way I'm recording, I'm pretty sure right now it's like 20 gig, so I have to kind of like compress it and then upload it on YouTube. Probably I should do that by tomorrow, and yeah, once it's done, I'll just tweet and also send an email to everyone with the link and any other resource to that Derek mentioned as well in the email. So yeah, thank you for joining. It was nice having you all, and see you on the next one. Also, if you want to connect with someone, feel free to drop your socials in the chat. I'll just
Yeah.
leave the call running for like 5 minutes for anyone who wants to connect. So yeah, you
Drop your
can
best.
you
Drop
can
your
do that
best bars. You can drop bars. Drop your best bars.
exactly.